Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Howdy, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Inactive Listening. We're your hosts. I'm Walter,
I'm Logan.
and we've got a whale of a time planned for y'all.
Yep.
A big ol' humpback. A big ol' gray whale. A big ol'
Don't say it.
blue whale. What were you talking about?
I was literally talking about a killer whale. A
That's
killer.
a dolphin. That's a dolphin, not a whale.
Really?
Yep, for real. Did you know they drown their prey?
Sorry.
I watched this dope video one time of a pod of orcas that lured a baby, I think it was a humpback whale, a baby whale away from its pod, and then they would like come up alongside it and swim alongside it and squeeze it. So they would tire it out by making it go in a straight line, squeeze it, and then they'd literally roll it over because whales are mammals, right? They have blowholes, they breathe air. And it drowned. And then they ate it. It was gnarly. So cool. I did not know
they
they did
ate a
that.
child.
Yes, yeah.
That's insane.
That is insane.
And which animal was this?
Orca?
Yeah, I'll probably kill them all. Thanks for that. That's exactly what
I thought
a
it was
tip
really
that I
cool.
needed.
I thought it was really cool. It's a cool video.
So you thought that was cool that they were killing the baby? Which I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to see what side you're on.
Yeah, for sure. I just think like baby had it coming. I think nature's really cool.
What if I lifted my shirt?
It's
I pulled my shirt and I had like an FBI thing.
Oh, I thought you were
and I
gonna
was
say. I thought you were gonna say a massive chest tattoo of a baby whale.
That'd be cool. That would be.
Now,
Hey,
that'd be cool.
Let's go with your idea. Sorry.
Sign me up. No, I was saying nature's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I feel like on a college campus, you are. I guess you are pretty immersed in nature. I think that's kind of the point. A lot of them are designed with that in mind, but it's kind of the same nature. For me, I've got squirrels, crows, and lizards, all like different and geese, all different times of the year. You know.
During college?
Yeah.
Don't know. It's too gray, too rainy out, too tired. Don't even notice. Nope.
I feel like the animals back home are more diverse though. Like we've got, I see, especially or hear, tree frogs, deer, crickets, cicadas, rabbits, raccoons, opossums, birds, all different kinds of birds. Like there's literally only crows at my college campus, whereas we have like cardinals and blue jays and bluebirds and not ravens. Actually, no ravens. Robins.
Crows are sick. Cardinals?
Cardinals are. Yeah. Crows are also cool. They're really smart.
Love crows.
The cardinals are really cool.
Bunch of crows at your school because everyone's dead? Metaphorically or literally? Everyone's dead inside?
Yeah, metaphorically, yeah. Like
so the crows are there to do a scary...
Like literally like in October towards Halloween, you'll wake up and there'll be a crow sitting on top of your dorm. And it'll just be like
inside?
Cawing. No, like on top, like the arch, like the roof, and it will literally caw like a rooster.
That's sick.
It's only like 2 months out of the year though. Squirrels are pretty much all year round, and then the lizards are at the very beginning and very end. When it gets
I didn't
warm.
know you were so into nature, dude.
Well, I just like
squirrels. Boring. Don't like them that much. See them all the time.
True.
Crows are sick. Deers, don't like them. They jump out on the road.
Yeah, they're also
my drive.
They're also kind of nuisances too. Like they'll eat saplings and buds off of trees or in gardens and stuff.
Yeah, you get you hit a deer on a bad day. We'll just leave it at that.
What happens if you hit a deer on a good day?
You hit the deer, totals your car. You're like, I literally don't even care. I love nature. I'm sorry, dear.
You walk out of the car, peace signs in the air, skipping.
Yes. Yeah. Double peace signs for audio listeners. Double peace signs. Skipping to the deer, to the dead deer, thrown on your back. Because you got to move it out of the way for other people, so other people don't have to drive around this
Right.
bloated beast.
And if
It's already started bloating.
and if it's a bad day, you walk out with a frown,
Peace signs facing down.
facing down, and somewhere like in the heavens you hear bow now 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 bow now, and you grab the deer and you throw it in the road so that
I
all our
hate you,
cars-
deer.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I don't know if you can drive to work anymore. I don't know if you can drive to work anymore because your car is blown to pieces by this big piggy deer, this big hog of a deer.
Yeah.
Little piggy deer coming to his trough.
Oh
Go.
my gosh.
little piggy deer, walking across the street to his trough, and then I had to hit him.
Could you imagine if, like, there's a huge traffic jam, the road is reduced to one lane because you have to go around this just like raging redneck who's swearing and calling this dead deer he hit a little piggy. And I was like, what the? I would love to see that.
Well, if he was a redneck, he'd probably throw it in the bed of his truck and take it home for din.
I know that you're not supposed to do that, right?
I don't know.
Because it's so likely that the impact will rupture one of the bad organs, and then all the bile and acids and
Yeah, but if you're an avid
We'll
hunter,
seek in
you'd
the
probably
muscle.
know. You'd probably know. You'd be like, I didn't hit him in the bad one.
maybe. I kind of
Yeah.
doubt it, but maybe.
I don't think you're not supposed to take home like roadkill, but I think hitting it,
Like if
and
you
killing
just hit
it-
it.
it's the same as like shooting it.
I don't think so,
strangling-
because you can't shoot it. You can't shoot a deer anywhere. Like there are such things as bad shots when you shoot a deer.
Yeah, I don't know if that just
for
makes
the same
whole
reason, like
deer.
you rupture an organ.
Does that just make all the meat horrible?
Probably
The
not.
whole thing's wasted.
Probably not, but I bet a sizable portion.
Because
yeah.
a bad shot to me is like it didn't kill it, and now it's
Oh,
shot somewhere and,
now
it
it's
ran
wounded.
off.
Okay, I see. I
Where a good shot would be
think
just
you're
like
also right.
clean
It's
kill. Wait, say that again.
I think you're also right.
Literally, first time hearing that from Walt.
You're right about a lot of things.
Thanks, buddy. And you are too, because we're just two right people on the podcast. And we're not getting political. I'm saying right as in correct. Sorry, in case you were thinking that. Sorry. Oh man, we have fun.
We have fun here.
You know what word I was thinking about today? It was 3 words.
Sure.
Uncle Bad Touch.
Why were you thinking about that?
This is funny.
What do I know that from?
I don't know. What do you know?
Where is that from?
Uncle
Uncle
Bad Touch.
Bad Touch?
It's just a funny string of words.
Yeah, dude. Whoever, because like you
But
agree.
you don't want to get called that. If you get called
Yeah,
Uncle
okay.
Bad Touch, da, da, da.
Yeah, it's a nickname you'd rather avoid. I mean, you agree that it's from something, right?
No.
I'm almost certain that's from something.
My
'Cause,
aunt,
like,
my aunt would call me that because
You're okay.
they have a nephew
Uh-huh.
or they have a son. They have a son,
Yeah.
my cousin,
Yeah.
and I sometimes hold him and stuff because I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
And then I whisper in his ear sometimes, and it's interesting because he doesn't respond, or no, he responds like different.
Sure.
I think it's because like the tickles his ear
Sure.
maybe.
And as a result, you are dubbed Uncle Bad Touch.
Yeah. It's all a joke. It's just jokes.
So maybe I heard it from you at some point.
I've never said it.
Okay. Well, nevertheless, if you came up with it or your aunt did or whoever, that is hilarious. That is so funny.
But you don't want to get called that.
No, I have to agree.
Dude, tell me about your cherry trees, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Hold on. Should we talk about what we just talked about? Not like, can we reference it, or did it never happen? Or does it matter? Because it could be entertaining.
yeah.
Please, dude.
No, I'll talk about cherry trees. I just don't know.
Like, I want to mention that we just had a whole intro recorded, and you mentioned about cherry trees, and now I'm psyched for it. So, please tell me. Please tell me.
So we have a couple of cherry trees at my house. Part of like, actually the cherry trees made it. We had a couple apples that we tried planting that just like kept dying, and so like we're on our third attempt at apples, and they're finally growing. But we got a big old Rainier, like the Mount Rainier cherries. They're like the sweetest of the cherries, as far as I know. And so we picked a whole bunch. It was a lot of fun. Took a long time. It was like 20 pounds worth at the end of it. And then we've been making sorbet, dude. Really yummy sorbet.
That's awesome.
Which is like fruity ice cream, except no cream, just like fruity ice shaving.
That's awesome.
It's really good.
A nice summertime treat.
Yeah, because we're like, oh my god, like we have never had this many cherries before. If we don't process these somehow, they will all spoil in our fridge. So we like went into overtime. Like we all three of us had different recipes that we looked up, and to try and like salvage these cherries.
Did your mom make this?
No.
No.
Nope. No part in it.
Interesting. I was gonna mention your mom, great cook.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if we talked about it before. She made like this sausage thing.
Currywurst.
Maybe.
Was it like orange?
Yeah, it had like a sauce on it.
Dude.
So good.
Dude.
Because we used to have, so for audio listeners, we used to have team meals here. Back when Walt and I were in the olden days.
Yep, right in the studio.
And so sick. So good, dude.
Yeah.
I dream about it to this day. Still dreaming about it.
Yeah, do you know what that's from? That recipe's from?
Nope.
So there's Overwatch, like Blizzard made a cookbook of Overwatch themed meals.
Really?
And the currywurst is Reinhardt's like dinner meal from that cookbook. It is delicious. It's so simple.
So did you guys just show your mom and were like, can you make this?
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, sure.
That's insane.
Dude, it was so good.
It's so good.
It's like pretty easy to whip up too. I think it takes like an hour max of prep and cooking.
Really good.
Really good.
Mustardy.
Mustardy, a little bit spicy, but not really. Sweet.
Yeah, dude.
Mm.
You're getting my tummy rumbling just sitting here thinking about it.
Dude, I'm like salivating. It was so good.
It's really good.
Audio listeners at home, it was really good. It was really good. Okay, so I've had an idea for something that I don't know if it'll actually work.
Lay it on, bae.
You know the Blue Man Group?
Yeah.
You ever seen their drum bone performance?
I don't know.
I think it's like their most famous YouTube video. But I watched it as a kid during like the same era as like Animusic, if you know what that is.
What is it?
Animusic, animated music.
Not anime music.
Not anime, animated music.
Okay. I wouldn't know.
Same kind of vein of like viral music video stuff. But it's just like this giant cylinder with a offshoot, a PVC cylinder. And the offshoot like slides in and out. So you bang on it with some sticks and it makes a tone. You can slide it in. You can tune the tone. And I really want one.
Okay, we can make one.
I feel like it wouldn't be too hard to make.
It probably would not. We're engineers, right?
Right.
Maybe not. We might not be. We don't know yet.
TBD.
That's to be decided for audio listeners.
That's to be dug up.
Deciphered?
Oh, to be.
Do you guys like to laugh or no? That's like the. Make myself crack up.
It's more.
New bit.
It's almost like a bark.
Yeah, and
or
then you say, sorry, like nervously afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the whole bit idea.
Do you ever try to like sculpt a new laugh for yourself? You ever tried swapping out laughs?
No.
I knew a couple people growing up who like
permanently. And
actually,
like,
they're all
truthfully?
girls. So I don't know if that's a girl thing. But yeah, like they would
Ladies, you
They
have
would,
some
like,
explaining to do.
try to
Did you know,
like they literally would practice laughing at the back of the bus,
yeah. So that's not a.
and then it worked. Like it did work, which it was kind of crazy.
You found them attractive?
No, they changed their laugh. I was in the 3rd grade.
Not too young to like girls.
Girls still had cooties at that point.
That's true. Still do.
Still do,
Forever
but
will.
thank God they have a vaccine for that now.
Mhm.
So,
Called the cootie vaccine.
Yep. and
Audio listeners, I'll repeat it once more for audio listeners: the cootie vaccine.
yeah, are you unhappy with your laugh?
No, I don't laugh ever.
I feel like I
Don't laugh ever because my heart's stone is or rock or black as a or is cold as ice. I will say that cold as ice and black as the night. We'll just say that.
Mm.
I laugh. I
I
don't
think you
know.
have a good laugh.
I don't.
You know,
I
I get
don't
like
test my
a
laugh.
7 out of 10. You know, it's fine. It's okay.
It's fine. I think if you have like a really obnoxious laugh, sure, maybe change that. Maybe change who you are because it makes other people uncomfortable. We don't want to hear that. Not gonna like you. Change who you are. Walter's words. Not
I mean,
mine.
like, it's kind of hard to have a really annoying laugh.
I've heard them online. I've
but
heard them
okay,
online.
sure, but like in person,
There were people I knew,
I knew
but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. You don't laugh that much, so.
I met someone who was a really nice person, but they kind of laugh like like
That's awesome.
they'll laugh normally, like with a ha,
And then end it with
but
a. That's great.
not annoying, because like I do like this person, that they're nice, but
Is it a girl?
no, it's not a girl.
No. Never mind then. Never mind then. Disregard.
But yeah, got my toes stuck in the wire.
You big pig sausage toe. Sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry, Walter. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
it's
'Cause
like
now he's
it's
hiding his toes.
Here,
Now his toes are curled up and he's hiding them.
it was noticeable to me. For some reason, my ears picked up on it. Like, people have very different laughs, very different subtleties in their tone. But I've never once heard someone in real life go,
Because it's unique.
like their tongue has to meet the top of their mouth, otherwise it's not a laugh. Like, I've never heard them laugh otherwise.
Just how they laugh.
Yeah, What?
And you catch it every time.
yeah, because they laugh like that every time.
I like your laugh.
What if I could? I think I have a very wheezy laugh.
I think my laugh's probably fine unless someone told me otherwise. Then I'd probably just never laugh again. See, listen to that. Did you listen? Play back the recording. Listen to that once more. Walter's little laugh.
If I'm really laughing,
It's
like
awesome.
like shocked,
Angelic.
it's
Sorry,
more like
It's great.
no.
Yes, it is. That was in one of our episodes. I remember
What?
our bad. I'm not gonna say bad audio quality one.
Like
with all four of us here
okay.
because I edited it
And
for
what?
probably a couple hours.
And I
straight.
would just like wheeze over top of everyone.
It was really early on. Someone said something funny and you laughed, like everyone did.
Yeah.
But I could pick out your laugh.
Right.
But I did a lot of editing where I was like cutting off all these tracks, playing this one alone. All four of us should record again because I think that was really fun. Miss those guys, Pete and Seth.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to that episode, check it out. The audio is wonk because I only used one wonk, short for wonky. Sorry,
Yeah. of
because I
course.
only used one audio track because there was a lot of mic bleed.
Oh.
'Cause
No one. Oh.
because we had bad mics.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, we also opened the episode by saying their first and last name.
We cut it
I know, but we did.
probably.
Things you learn.
I've said your last name like 3 times, and then we've had to
Yeah.
redo. So if anyone's trying to get into podcasting and you're listening to ours because we're top rated, you're like, these guys they really know what they're doing. Walter and I have restarted this episode like 3 times. There's no reason to hide anything.
Yeah, just talk about
It's just how it
the
is.
process.
We started talking about something and then we stopped not midway, but like really early on to talk about important things of the pod that were not going to be public. And then we restarted. And that's just, it is what it is. It's not.
It's nice getting to edit stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good to have candid conversations.
And we restart, and yeah, we have important conversations sometimes that we don't, want on the
that you youngins
on air.
The stuff that would make your ears blush, really,
Yeah.
audio listeners. So
Exactly, your ears blushing. So
yeah,
it's not like I know this is like a huge tangent of what you're talking about, but this is not like a completely perfect. There are a lot of times though that we just come in, record. We just hit record. We test a couple times, and then we're good, and we talk the whole time through.
yeah.
It's not always though, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Literally. So, yeah, just a big tangent for audio listeners. I stuck my hand in the air and said big tangent.
Yeah.
I stuck my arm from left to right.
Your right arm from left to right.
From 9 o'clock to about 3 o'clock.
Big.
Yep. And it was like a waving.
Whereas, like, if you would have said large or even humongous, we've gone from like 9 o'clock to like all the way around.
Right. And then it would have been unnatural and weird.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't do that one.
Right. If you know the thing that, there's like that 90s thing that says like, what is it?
We'll be right back.
Things you should know.
Oh.
Or something like that. It's like a star.
The more you know.
Yeah, it might be that. It's like a star with like a rainbow behind it.
Yeah.
Like a shooting star.
Yep.
If you know what I'm talking about, that's what my arm did. Imagine my hand as the star.
Yep.
That's what that did.
Cool.
So yeah. Anything you want to talk about? Also, one more thing that I'm going to throw in. We don't always just have a game plan. There's times that we just don't. And I'm sure that's a common thing, but
barely do we have a game plan.
Yeah. It's just kind of, there are definitely times that we just sit here in silence for like 15 seconds trying to think of something else.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't care about anything that we talk about, and we probably have like a 15-minute interesting window of the whole episode, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. I've got something we can talk about.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what interesting thing that
like,
happened in the last week.
Well, here's it.
My brain just washes
Nothing
white.
interesting happened to me last week. So
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it probably was.
It was a wash of a week. Like it just whatever.
Nothing tragically happened, so I don't remember.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like that. Is my mic quality good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great. I guess we won't know until we play it
bloody.
back, though.
It sounds bloody in my head. What do you do? Have you ever tried to be great at something? Like made the conscious effort, like I want to be great at this thing.
So I'll tell you about thoughts that I have often. I've had them today. I often do think about what do I want to be. So, okay, this person that I'm looking at right now, he's like really good at this. And I wish I was that good. Can't be that good because, well, he probably doesn't play guitar. I play guitar. So I have that skill.
Hold on. I hate to interrupt, but
please.
Can you be more specific? In this scenario, you see someone who's good.
Okay, sure.
Are they good at everything? Are they good at one thing? Are they good at the thing that you want to be good at?
So this person is. This isn't like an exact, like word for word memory, but I've had this thought a ton of times. I think I've had it today. Like, okay, so this person he's a great mechanic, right? I wish I was that good of a mechanic. I wish I just knew. I don't. I wish things just came naturally to me. This was a very common thing in college, academically. I wish like all of these, literally everyone except me seems to be getting this very easily, no problem.
Yeah.
But I can't. Really wish I could. I can't because two things: either that's the only thing that they're good at is this one thing, and they're just like insane at it. It's not a bad thing, not a good thing, or they're really good at this, and they're good at other stuff, or mediocre at other stuff, whatever, and they're just better than I am. They're just better overall. It's kind of how I think. So this like for being a mechanic, for example, this person is an insane mechanic, and I wish I just knew as much as he did, but I can't because, well, I play guitar. Highly doubt that he does. Have a big music taste. I'm sure it's better than his. So there's time spent into that. I used to play soccer, and I was good at that. Maybe he played sports, so I guess we'll cancel those out. And we just go into like, well, I have a really good relationship with my girlfriend. That takes time to be with her, so
Do you always go down this rabbit hole
quite a bit, yeah.
where you like
Yeah.
compare
I compare all the time.
aspects of yourself to aspects of others?
All the time.
It's so hard.
You do too?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people do
I
that.
think like
It's definitely unhealthy, I think.
yeah, objectively, like we can both recognize like that's not healthy.
Yep.
But I do it all the time.
It's not like I don't do that with you.
No, I
don't do it with my friends,
Yeah.
really.
I don't do it.
It almost is like a feeling threatened thing, though. Like, this guy's, for me at least, like, I wish I was...
what I was gonna say is I don't do it with people outside of my, I'll say, grade.
Interesting.
Right? But that's not true. I
Okay.
do that. I do that.
I do it a lot. I don't do it with, like... I don't know. The older the person, I probably don't. Because, like,
I
well,
think
he just
I'm
has...
just really good at only finding the things that will make me unhappy.
You just make yourself sad?
Yeah, like for example, Roger Waters, or I believe, at least the average age of Pink Floyd when they made Dark Side of the Moon was like 20, was like early 20s.
There's a lot of times I do think about this.
Which is like, so obviously those
So
guys are now 70, right? But
they're a year older than me.
That album is renowned for being one of the best albums ever made.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatable to so many people, a great work of art. So like, why haven't I done that? Or not even that specifically.
Just something of that magnitude?
Exactly.
Like I think about this all the time.
What am I doing wrong?
That was a good example, because I do think about, there are people who make, there's definitely times with music and stuff where it's like, okay, well, at this age, they did this. I'm nowhere near that, and that's insane. So then I chalk it up to like, well, if I only focus on singing in a band, and all of us were only focusing on this, and we were focusing on studying music, and we could probably do something. That's what I think. But it's not that way. I work, I have school, I am interested in other stuff too.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask another question then. Because I agree. Like, it's not the same.
So then I wonder though, are they only into music? Or are they good at music and they have a ton of other stuff going on too, and they're just insane? Like, do you think they had a 100% primary focus on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what it means, like, to be great at something.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to be an Olympian?
No. Not sports. No.
Okay, let me find another example.
With a lot of my stuff though, you mean like the best? I don't know if there's any category of thing that I do. Pretty big into fingerboarding. I never really think that.
Well,
I've had that drive because I don't dedicate 100% of my life to anything.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you ever wish you did? Here's the thing.
Not really.
Uh,
Because if I wanted to be like the best fingerboarder in the world, I would give up guitar. I would give up all of these things and solely like train, probably to the point where it was unenjoyable. So do I want to lose
would it
all
be
of this?
unenjoyable?
That's the thing. For me, probably, because I don't really want it.
I am pursuing a bachelor's degree of mechanical engineering, right?
Mm-hmm.
At my school, there's another degree called chemical engineering, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take a lot more credits to get their degree than I do. It's like very credit intense. And I'm sure like academically it's hard too. Like it's a hard discipline. But I always kind of look at all my friends who are chemies and the chemical engineering discipline and just like get jealous. Because I picked mechanical engineering because it was like the undecided of engineering, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I could do a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned such a variety of things. But wouldn't it be so awesome to know that you love chemistry and engineering, and there's a degree where all you get to do is just that? Like, isn't that awesome? I feel like that is got to be such a nice feeling.
I think it will depend on my upcoming years, but going into MET that I think I mentioned recently, I think that'll be that way for me. For my core classes at least.
Yeah.
Because those are two things that I'm very interested in, and I think that's going to fit perfectly. So are you talking about like just having a degree that you want want to do?
Well, that's an example, but like
you don't feel that way with mechanical?
well, no. Like, do you feel that way with mechanical?
Yeah.
Like
I
you
do.
want to do it.
I do. 100%. For me, it's not like a
Like you enjoy every aspect of it?
So mechanical and then MET are different.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I don't enjoy the theoretical, so I'm doing MET because there's a lot less of that. There is still like calculating stuff and all that. I don't really enjoy that a whole lot, but like the hands-on aspect and probably the absolute core of MET, very much enjoy problem solving. I mean, being able to use different functions and different things to solve problems, modeling aspect. All of this is enjoyable to me. I like having my hands in welding, and like today, for example, at my internship, I was like on the shop floor talking to a welder because he was welding together the parts that I designed, and then someone else that I was talking to was assembling pieces that I literally modeled and like sketched several times, made edits over and over to put onto this like large scale thing. It's not like I was in control of a project, but I had a part in it because I'm just an intern. But it was really cool to be able to see that in person.
Yeah.
I also enjoy the like physically building aspect.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get that really. You don't really physically build. I don't know if anywhere you would do that, if you would like design and then like walk outside and physically put it together yourself. That's what the shop does.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect, but I do enjoy what I'm learning quite a bit actually. If you don't feel that way with mechanical, that's interesting.
Everything you said I enjoy about the discipline, right?
Yeah.
But like
Which also
but like specifically like calculus 3.
so
like-
then you
like-
have to look at like outside of college though.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do? Because there are like engineering firms and stuff that you can go to and just sit and like run theoretical stuff.
Yeah.
You might not enjoy that. But if you had an ME degree and then you worked at like the same place that I work at, where MET and ME are pretty comparable in terms of like you'd be doing the same either way, you'd probably enjoy it because you're not going to just be sitting and doing Calc 3. you probably would kind of rarely touch Calc 3. So is
Yeah.
it just a thing that you're going through in college? This is one of the conversations that we had. I talked to other people there because they also go to Purdue, or they did like years ago. That, especially like someone who graduated somewhat recently, that the ME program at Purdue just isn't as good of a learning experience as MET might be. Because MET, at least I'd be learning a lot more hands-on and like a real-world application, where like mechanical is just really hard, almost for the just to be hard.
Yeah.
So do you think it's that way at your school?
Well, there is a design focused discipline that you can pick as well.
At the start of this podcast, I talked a lot about this as well. That I had such a great, like had, I just wasn't that interested in MET. Even though I knew I liked the work more, I thought it was just less of a. It was like a silver ribbon versus a gold ribbon to be an
Right.
ME.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really matters. Am I going to get the gold ribbon by taking insanely hard stuff through college and then not enjoying my career later? Or just learn what I want to learn and then enjoy my career? There's definitely something to be said about, like, your school, especially, like, the stuff that you do is insane. Definitely insane. But then to, like, look at a chem E person, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's probably harder for them. If you hate chem, though, there's no reason you should ever do that. You know, if they love chem, if it comes completely naturally easy to them and they absolutely love it, then that's great for them. And I think that's awesome. I think that's what they should do. But if it's not that way for you, and then you look at them as like, well, they just are better, or like, I wish that I liked it like they did. I mean, and I guess there's nothing wrong with wishing that, but if you don't, then you don't, you know? And it's not something that you should, like, look down on yourself, like, well, I'm not doing as good as them, because, I mean, I don't know. It all comes down to, like, what do you actually want to do? The only real thing that will matter is, like, the absolute outcome, as in, like, your career for the rest of your life. Not really these 4 years.
Mm.
That's what I think.
Real
I want
quick.
to hear what you think.
Real
though.
quick, you had said like I'm not as good as the chemies, or like I think I'm not as good. I'll be clear. That's not my concern. Like,
Okay, so are you talking
like
more
I
like
like I really don't care if I'm good at this being anything. I just care that like I want to do it. That makes sense.
okay, interesting. Okay, so
Like yes, I'm surrounded by brilliant people who are much better at math and science.
right. I didn't know what angle you were.
Right.
So you mean like
I just mean that chemies have they like chemistry. They know they like chemistry, so they picked chemie.
do you like chemistry?
No,
Okay.
I wish I did, because then I'd pick chemie and then I'd do this one thing for 4 years. You know?
Interesting. Okay. I see where you're coming from. So then what do you like? Or do you not? You still don't know?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I'm not driven by if you told me right now, or not you, we'll say like if God, or like somehow I knew, like the universe decreed that I would like never get married, or especially never have kids, I think I just go live in Alaska the rest of my life. Like I just leave. I just dip. I'd be like, peace. Because at that point, I don't know what I'm putting all the time and energy for.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So is that how you feel towards like ME, or is this a
Well,
separate thing?
it's just like it's tied in. Because you had talked about like if you like it, then like your career.
Right. Which this was like I completely
Sure,
spiraled into a tangent
but
that
it was important what you said, and I hear that I'm just like I value having a family above like literally anything else.
are
And
you're worried about that?
I'm not worried per se. It's just it's hard to find motivation to do anything at this point in my life right now when I'm no closer to having a family. And I just if everything will change once that happens and I will do anything to do that, like my footing isn't stable
Mm-hmm.
because I have the mindset that like I will uproot everything to go do that. Does that make sense? Chemies like chemistry in my thought experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to have kids, but there's no major for having kids. Like, you know what I mean? So I think they're really lucky, and I envy them because they get to focus on the thing they want to do, right? They want to be good at chemistry. But
Do you think you want to have a family more than any
yes,
Chem E wants to have a family?
no, I think I want to have a family more than I want to go to school.
Interesting. I think they're definitely two different. I see what you're saying. I 100% see what you're saying. I think there's two. There's two rooms of it, because they could have as much passion that you have about having kids themselves
Yeah.
and about chemi, but you're saying that like if you had footing of having a family, that would give you motivation.
Uh, it
Or
would
are you saying that
it would probably be
regardless of
misplaced.
career at all, like you just don't care right now, but you are solely wanting a family? Like that is something that's the number one
Like
value.
my main motivator to be in college is to get a good job to that where I can support a family.
Yeah, I would say that's the same with a lot of people. I don't,
So like it
in terms of what like, I enjoy working on cars
yeah.
in my leisure,
Uh-huh.
working on old cars more than mechanical engineering, probably 7 days out of the week. I don't like that is just much more fun to me. Being a mechanic doesn't pay what I would like,
Sure.
so I'm going to college so I can have a good job. Not really that I just love. I do like it. Out of all of the careers that make good money, this is the one that I think I align with the best. But do you think chemies like that is their absolute passion? Like if they could pick a job, they every job made the same amount of money and they could pick one, they would pick that. You know what I mean?
Um
Like if I could make the same amount of money working leisurely on old cars,
oh, I see. No.
I would pick that.
Yeah, right. Most people would probably pick like if you could make the same amount of money as an engineer as you do building Legos and putting it on YouTube, like people would probably pick the Lego one.
Yeah. This
So
is interesting.
are you saying that like I shouldn't think I'm so unique.
What? No.
Like
What? Where did that come from? That's
like
not
you're
at all.
saying a lot of other people also want to have a family
No.
and they still get by. I'm not unique in my concerns.
I'm trying to see if that is your 100% your passion is having, like, that is your main goal is having a family. Because, like, it is mine too.
Right. I feel like
But you could be more passionate.
well, I
towards
just
them.
like what about you? Like if someone told you that you would never
If I would not get married, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it would probably be,
like never.
it would
Okay.
be pretty.
It's just like
crippling.
okay, so there's I have another I'll be generous and say 70 years of being alone.
I
Like that
think
sucks.
I think it
I would
would.
just be alone in nature. Like I would just I accept it and be like, okay, I'm just gonna leave then.
Yeah, I think I would agree. It would be very, very crippling too. Like, why would I go to school for the next 3 years? They're really like, if it was just
Right, yeah.
foretold that I was not gonna have a family,
Yeah, because like
I don't know if this is worth my time.
yeah. Because okay, for some people, and I've been told this by like my mentors or like my people I'd really admire at my school at least, like what gets them out of bed in the morning. One in particular, he was like, um, he said a lot of stuff, but one of the bullet points was, "Are you making the world a better place?" And as long as that box is checked, then he's happy. That's part of his list of criteria. And to me, I that is something I really lack in. That's probably horrible to say,
That's
But, like-
I think that's a completely normal thing to say.
but like without a family, I don't know why I would care.
That's true.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, what you're saying is
Who cares if the
100%
world's a better
valid.
place if after I die, there will be no one, I will have no one to enjoy that better place with. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the relationship I have with strangers
Mm-hmm.
or like the humanity, quotes, humanity, is not strong enough for me to have that drive me.
So then, what about your friends? Like the swim team, the old swim team.
I think
That would be a lot of motivation for me. Wouldn't be as much as a family.
it would be a lot. I agree.
Would not be as much as a family.
I'm really trying not to dive into this hypothetical too much.
Why?
I want to keep it real.
This is interesting.
No, I mean like,
I want to.
you ever seen Snowpiercer
No.
or any other like apocalyptic, or like Maze Runner? Okay, I
I'm
think
not a movie.
I'll say Maze Runner. It's a book too.
Okay.
Maze Runner, the first one at least, they're all dudes. A large number. I really don't know. I'll say like 20. I could be way off base. But they're in this maze and they try to escape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they keep trying. And like they grow close, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they like, I think they do that in the book, in the story, because of hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like hope that they will one day get out and have a life, you know?
This is very interesting. I
But
want to say this
but-
is awesome that you brought this up.
but in my hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I'm probably spending way too much time thinking about. I said that. I built this hypothetical to help articulate how important it was to me and try and express that to other people and see if they feel the same way. Like,
You mean for not having a family?
yeah. One of our friends, I talked to him, he's on the swim team. I talked to him back when I was a junior. I was almost 17. And we were talking about what we want to do, like in college. And I remember this conversation vividly. And he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I don't know, like whatever makes enough money to support a family." And he was like, "Why? Like, don't you want to do something? Like, don't you want to do something for you?" And I told him, "I don't know, like, why I'm doing this then."
I think I would say that part of it is
Like,
comfortability. If you had a family, regardless of college, if this was your absolute passion, you would be able to support them. You know? Because, I mean, people who don't go to college or don't have a great job and they still support their family, you would find a way. So, this would give you much more comfort.
okay, you're right. Okay, that
If you worked a minimum wage job and it literally was not enough money, you would probably find a way to support them.
you're right because people do it all the time, all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's the hypothetical, like the set in stone of not having a family. Very interesting. Very interesting. If in Maze Runner, so they're what, all in a maze,
Yeah.
and then they what, meet each other, and
Well, their
then
memories wiped and they come up from an elevator in the middle of the maze. Like, is the center of the maze like a safe haven?
okay,
And there are monsters in the maze.
and all 20 of them are together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have like they have jobs. Like they build a society in the maze. And one of the jobs is a maze runner. And they send out these scouts to find the exit.
If it was told to them that there was, like, the maze was closed off and there was no getting out, do you think they would still try?
Yeah.
Interesting. If it was like a definite thing, like God had told them,
Oh, okay.
this is fact,
Then probably not.
you don't think they would
I thought you meant
still have hope?
like the no. I think some of them won't. So, like I bet you the main character would because it's a fake story and they would
So what do
pump in optimism and hope. But like again, like we are really stretching. Like we are trying to apply real world logic to wild hypotheticals that have no bearing on
it's interesting though.
the real world. Yeah, it is
It's interesting to think.
Sure.
Did you? I guess so. Why did you come up with this hypothetical?
To like express
Does it bother you
what bothered me.
that I? Do you fear not having a family,
Yeah.
like, greatly?
Yeah.
That's sad, buddy.
Like that's well it's like I said, without one, what is the point?
That's yes. I don't. I really don't know how common it is to just not have a family. That it is just destined that you will not have a family. And I think part of this conversation it could dive into like religion because there's
Sure.
that aspect of it, but keeping it fully logical.
Like okay, I think I will have a family.
Mm-hmm.
I just said that the thing about not having a family, like to again prove a point, like
Okay.
how much it means to me. I think I will, like
Okay.
statistically, spiritually,
Okay.
emotionally.
It's interesting though. Like, yeah, I mean that would be crushing on many levels. But I don't know. You could still have a good life though. That's not what you would want.
And so in this fantasy world where I know I'm not gonna have,
Yeah. You could
Yeah.
have close friends. You
well,
could have,
no, because they would have families.
and that's just not a thing. So whenever you and I both have families, and we just cut it right there, put the wall up, and see you later. Or you're saying we couldn't have a? Are you saying we could not have a relationship?
What?
We could not continue the pod.
No, we could. But wouldn't that be just like chasing something that you can never have?
Which is what?
A family.
Romantic relationship together? Dude.
No.
What do you mean?
Like,
If you and I both had families
and
and you're saying we couldn't have a relationship?
We could. I'm saying, like, if in the hypothetical. I thought that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Are you saying the real world or hypothetical?
Okay, let's go back to the hypothetical.
Okay, then no. I would just leave. I would go to Alaska.
Why?
Because
So you're saying your life would be worse if you and I were friends?
no, I'm saying, like, my life is already rock bottom.
I think you're making it rock bottom. And that's probably because of how much you want a family. But as crippling as it would be, like, you would have the decision. Is that what you want your life to be? If you were not going to have a family, do you want it to be soul crippling so that you just move to Alaska and that's your life? Or would you want to have friends and try to make your life as happy as it could be? It all comes down to, I mean, your decision on what you make of it. It's like you can choose your own reaction. It's one that I think of all the time.
That's a really good point.
Thank you.
Because there are, like, unfortunately people out there who probably have lived that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether they're infertile or even if it's not truly never, but they go, like,
a long time without it.
a long time without it. That's got to be soul crushing. But yet they're still here.
Mm-hmm. You just blow your head off and call it. Or you could try to make it as good as it's going to be. That's a lot. That's like saying it in such a... Okay, so on this route, just end it here. Or on this route, I don't know, just make your life a little bit better. I don't know. It's not that easy, but it all comes down to mindset, I think. If you have the mindset that this is... Without this, you are nothing, then that's how you want to think, then. But, like, that's a pretty abysmal way to think. And I know that was just for, like, to show emphasis on how much it really does mean to you, but in the absolute worst case scenario, what if it is true that it just never does end up working out? I'm not trying to, like, cripple you, dude. I'm not trying to make you sad. That likely will not be the case. I think sometimes it really just is, like, very unfortunate, but this is just me throwing things out there. This is not fact-based at all. This is my thought that a higher percentage of the people who don't have families, maybe it's because they cut themselves off. It's because they have gone down, like, a drug path that has completely shut them out. Maybe they completely just moved away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the likeliness of it just doesn't work out, I think is very slim. I think it's very slim. If this is something that you really want, especially, like, with your passion of it, I mean, I would argue that it's almost probably impossible for it to happen, that you would not have a family. Because there are definitely people who don't want a family that much and still end up with one. Right?
Right.
And at the very base level, you would have Pete, you would have your mom and dad, like, you would have, that is your family too. I know you'd want your own,
Mm-hmm.
but dude, I did not want to. I don't know if you're just thinking, or you're thinking of something, or if you're, like, feeling upset now, feeling sad. It makes me feel bad. It makes me sad, dude. It makes me sad that it bothers you a lot or you think about it a lot. I think it's a really good thing. I
See,
think there are.
okay, I want to sit on that for a little bit because yes, I was processing this whole conversation because I think I'm wrong. Why do you think it's a good thing? Every time I bring up this topic, it always I don't know that at least a dozen people now. I always say like the thesis is I want a family so bad that I think my professional, academic, personal goals suffer because of it. And they always without fail end by saying I think it's a good thing. Why is it a good thing?
So I'll ask this first. Have you asked them? Or
Yeah.
is this the first time that you're asking? So
No,
what
I,
have they
I,
said?
I ask, they all say like, well, it's not bad to want a family. And it's like I know it's not bad to want a family, but I'm saying I want a family too bad.
Is your academics actually hindered? Do you suffer grade wise because you are too focused on having a family that you don't learn?
Too focused isn't like I just think about it too much. Yeah, yeah.
That it affects your grades. Like it
Well,
physically
okay.
hinders your academic ability.
Um,
Because just
that's hard to judge.
yeah, that's true.
But like, yes, 100%. There have been plenty of times, like too many to count, where I'm distracted in lecture, distracted on exams, because I'm just like upset.
I say it's a good thing because I think I know that you will have a family, and I think that you're going to be an amazing father because of how much of a burning passion it is to you. I think you're going to be incredible. And I say that because I think there are probably a lot of parents out there that are just not good parents. And that's not just like especially super highly like drug affiliated families that their child is just abandoned or I mean they overdose and die. I mean that really sucks. Versus and it's I don't want to say like you're a bad parent if but I think there are parents that care a lot less than of how you care. And I think it's really good that you care this much. I know what you're saying about how
E-
much you think about it.
Even if it's a detriment to the goal. Like I care so much that the goal of having kids suffers because I care too much about having kids.
How do you know that's true? Because you don't have a girlfriend right now?
Well, yeah,
That could happen.
like
You could literally
like
think about it not at all, and it could be that you could still just not have a girlfriend. You don't think so?
well,
Because now we're getting into think. There isn't much of a way to know, but I think just saying because of how much you think about it, that's why you don't have it right now. I don't know if that's true. There's no way to know. Unless, like, multiple girls have come up to you and said, Walter, I want to have a family with you right now. And you're like, I'm busy thinking about a family. And they're like, okay, never mind. I think it's a good thing that you care this much. I really do. And sure, you probably shouldn't think about it and worry about it this much. That is probably also true. But I think there are parents that care a lot less than how you care. And I think it's good. Have you ever read Child Called It?
I've heard about it.
I have it. I haven't started reading it. My uncle explained it to me. About like just all of a sudden there's like a family and then just all of a sudden this one kid they just like the mom specifically excluded from the family for no reason at all, like just he wasn't a true part of the family, so like would abuse him and turn his brothers on him to abuse him, and the dad would have to as well. The dad didn't really want to as much, but and it was like a horrifying real life California like child abuse case. that's probably bad parents. And I think that you are complete opposite of that. Putting a family first is, I would say, second to the the goal. I'd say that's second place to the goal.
What's the goal?
Well, for me, I would say God
Okay.
is number one. Sorry, but yeah, that's what I mean. That's me. Not everyone believes or whatever, but that's my goal, my number one thing. Because without that, then what is the point? But not this is not to get religious or anything like that. For most people, this probably is the goal. Is family, right?
Uh-huh.
I want a family. Obviously, I want to be with my girlfriend. I love ya. We've talked about children and stuff before. Don't really want kids right away because
Right.
I want to have time just with her, just together to kind of do stuff. I think it's very common. My parents were this way of just like having kids very early on, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do. I want to have time with my girlfriend when we're married to just be together. So in that terms, I mean, is that a family? Just her and I?
Yeah, I think it can be.
So yeah, I guess yeah, I want that pretty badly. I hate that this bothers you this much though, dude. I am still curious to know though of how you feel that it affects you not having a family. Academically, I don't know, but I could see if I mean I don't know. So if you really are just like you think about it a ton, and then you, especially like on exams and stuff, sure. I'm curious to know though about if on your thoughts on that, or do you think that you just wish you had a family so badly that, and you don't, and then that bothers you?
If I I think good dads uh lived a full life before they had kids,
Really?
or had to learn things. Like they learned stuff. They learned how to be handy, or they learned how to.
Learn how to take care of kids
Yeah.
before you had them?
No.
I don't think you'll ever stop learning. That aspect I know is a huge. It's something that I definitely overlook of like parents taking care of children, figuring that out. Whatever. They have a baby. I don't know like but I know that that is like that's a lot to have to get up with a baby in the middle of the night, probably multiple times, and then have to figure out a work situation. All of that and just like learning how to do that is insane.
Yeah.
And that's nothing that you're going to learn, I don't think, before.
Yeah. That's not what I mean.
Live a full life.
Like I spend all my time, all my free time, thinking about this and thinking about other shortcomings in my life
that you're not focused on.
that I'm not actually doing anything.
Okay.
Like I'm just doing like the bare minimum and then retreating to my brain
I don't
to
think
ponder. And I just feel like I'm just so far behind. Like I feel like I'm not ready to have kids yet.
I'd say most people probably are not. People who are gearing up to have kids probably are not ready to have kids.
But
I know what you mean though.
but that's what I mean. Like I want to know that I'm ready.
Then maybe you'll just know when you know. Maybe it's
Okay.
not something that what
Well, keep going.
I mean, maybe it's not just something that like you study and like you learn, and then you're like, okay, now I'm ready. What if you go through your whole life without ever feeling that way?
That'd suck.
Maybe that's just not a thing though. Just knowing when it's time to have kids, I don't know if that's a thing.
It's got to be a thing.
You think that people just are
Okay,
like,
because you could just like wait too long. Like if you're both 40, you shouldn't really have a kid then.
but if you've never felt that you were ready, but you've wanted them,
But that's what I'm saying. Like people,
then what?
I think people must feel like they're ready at some point. Otherwise,
And I think you will too, dude. You are 20. You're like I think you're still considered like young-ish. I think my mom was 20 when she had me. Very young, I'd say.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe pick a year range when you think you probably aren't ready for that because you're like literally in college right now, so there's all of that on your plate.
I know, but in 2 years I will not be in college anymore.
I don't want kids in 2 years.
I know, do I? But then I have to figure out my job.
Mm-hmm.
I have to figure out have my own place. That's an apartment.
Mhm.
It'll be an apartment. I'll probably I know I will move to that job. I have to figure out having a relationship with hopefully my to be wife, or finding that person,
Mm-hmm.
and then like allow myself enough time to figure out if that is the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And like how long will that take?
There is no answer because it's just completely different for everyone. I've been with my girlfriend for over 4 years now. Very, very sure that I want to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
I already know that.
I
You
don't-
do not.
I
There are
don't
people,
have that though.
and that's okay. There are people who like are literally 30 and then now they're getting married. So are you worried about like finding a soulmate?
Do you believe in soulmates?
I do, yeah. I think my girlfriend is
Really?
my soulmate, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I believe in soulmate.
I mean, yeah, whatever. The aspect that you're talking about of finding a job, finding a house, minus like the finding someone to marry,
Uh-huh.
were things that I was like stressing about probably a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like and it was like financially though,
Right.
stressed out.
Right. Huge part of it.
Having to save up to buy an engagement ring, pay for wedding stuff because we would like to get married right after college. Have to figure out housing in this economy. Actually insane. I would argue maybe impossible. That's insane. To the fact that I was making myself upset, I will probably like sell the cars that I've built with family members. Enjoyed building this car with my grandfather.
Yeah.
Might have to sell that to have money to be able to afford all these things in 3 years. But I don't know.
That doesn't bother you?
It'll probably work out. It really will. I could sit and think about it forever and then just be upset
Yeah.
because you just don't have an answer.
Right.
Or I don't know, man. Something like that though, like of finding a girlfriend is not like a statistical how can you save up and then make this is your budget for your house. You could calculate all of that I did not want to do. But like having a girlfriend is not something to calculate.
Yeah.
You might meet someone your senior year And, like, you just know that that is your soulmate. The way that I got into it was something that my dad told me a long time ago, was that to just not chase after girls or don't chase after people. And if you just, like, focus on yourself, then they will come. And then I started dating Maddie. And then we've been together for this long. So if you just focus on your own being and what you're just completely, not that you're just, like, completely disregarding and blocking it out, but just trying not to focus on it so much, just, like, it'll work out. It will. It probably will.
Okay.
You don't have to believe that. I mean, you don't have to. I don't know. I don't have a ton to say because we're in different boats. I will say, I don't think that there's just a number. Like, this age, you should have kids.
Yeah, I know.
But, I don't know. I know it probably sucks because there isn't a number. There's nothing to really do about it except just hope. It's interesting. I will say, though, I think you could easily just make yourself upset forever by thinking about it, because I just don't think there's anything to solve. So I think by trying to solve it over and over and over, you probably never will. You know?
Yeah.
So, it's up to you. This was a great episode.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Also, Walter's dad, birthday today. Happy birthday, Mr. Walter.
Mr. Walter Dad. Yeah. For real. He's a real one.
Yeah. Super awesome guy. Like Walter, but a lot cooler. It's going to work out, dude. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'll literally give you all of my salary, my family.
Okay.
That it will work out.
Okay. The interns are giving us the
cutoff.
Yeah, the wrap it up.
Interns throwing stuff at us? Hey, stop doing that. Stop throwing a pickle at my head. What the heck? What the heck? Throwback. Yeah, thank you guys if you guys have listened this far. This was insane.
Yeah.
I think this was important. I think this was some hard-hitting questions towards the end. Was not expecting it. Really did enjoy it. And now we've got some pondering to do. So, thank you guys for listening. If you did make it this far, once again, please.
We know you didn't, but we appreciate you anyway.
Stay tuned for the next one.
Yeah.
It'll probably be next week. And yeah, guys, stay cold because it's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be a hot one.
See you guys later.
See you guys. Bye.